John, why is it so frustrating to be a letting agent in 2018?
Well, I don't know that 2018 is the challenge, but generally, I don't know why lettings appeals to this type of person, but generally we find that letting agents are perfectionists. Now that could be good for you as a landlord or a tenant.
You have to be with the job, because if you don't, there's so much legislation and paperwork. If you get it wrong, you're going to jail.
Yeah, so maybe it's only perfectionists who actually put up with that amount of paperwork. But the challenge then for the letting agent is, because they want everything to be correct, then they're most likely to be over the top in terms of how they beat themselves up when they make the human errors. Now, you can guard against human error by how you systemize your business, systemize your processes, do what the Japanese call poker yoke, this idea of foolproofing things. You can even do that with paperwork as well. But ultimately it comes down to the fact that you need to work out where you need to be perfect and where good is good enough.
Yeah, but I find most letting agents want to be at 100%, and they perceive good enough to be at 50%.
Interesting. So tell me more, Chris. What does that mean?
Well, anything less than perfect is
no good.
Is mediocre.
Yeah, that's right.
And
in their mindset.
In their mindset.
Yeah.
Whilst my understanding is the opposite of mediocre is excellence, and I think we should be aiming for excellence, not perfection, because you'll never get to perfect, will you?
No, and engineers are known for this as well. So if you're in the automotive
and
industry,
accountants are like this as well, aren't they?
Accountants, all the detail people, right?
Yeah.
So you want detail people designing aeroplanes, right?
Yes, you do.
You don't want them dropping outside because someone forgot to put a bolt in and stuff like that, right?
Because you want an estate agent doing lettings, because they're like, we'll put a board in the ground, off we go.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're like, aren't they?
Right.
Sorry.
So no, it's fine. But then they're more engaging to create a sale.
Yes.
So there's horses for courses. But the real challenge the letting agent finds is that they take all the stress then upon themselves. They can't get things done because they have to be perfect.
Yes.
And one of the things my mentor says to me, well, done is better than perfect. If you aim for perfect all the time, nothing will ever happen.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose not between perfect and excellent, but between done or not done, what's better for your business? What's better for your business is that thing get done. You can always improve it over time, but it's better to be done and you learning and generating data from that thing, that process. So what about data? So if you have a phone answering script and you think, I must go and speak to all the top people and blah, 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 and you create a huge project, why not just think, what would you like the person to say? Write that down. Give it to them. Now, today, did you have happier people coming through the phone or less happy? Did you have calls dropping off or did they come through?
I think it's a lot more granular than that, John. It's actually is that form been sent and has that box been ticked on the computer system?
Yeah, that's a similar example. But what I'm saying to you is don't worry about building the perfect form. Just have a form to start with. And then you've been using it for maybe an hour if it's a high volume process, or a day if it's But then when you've got some data, say, right, how's the form working? And they might say, this and this information isn't on the form. Okay, great. Let's go to version 2 in our quality system, V2 at the bottom of the page, and we put these extra boxes in. And this box, that one's always blank. Why? Well, we don't need it. Okay, so let's take that out. So you can very quickly improve. But you can't improve something that isn't done. You have to be using it. You have to be doing it to generate the experience.
So this sounds like easy systemization to me.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you don't need masses of booklets that big.
No.
Start with one form.
Yeah.
And just make sure it gets done.
Yeah.
You see,
start where it's common, where you have volume. So we'll talk about traffic volume. Which processes are the most frequently used in your business?
Okay, so another trait which I've noticed with letting agents is that they get sucked into the complicated stuff because the staff are more than competent to do it. Like, do we go for this notice or this notice to get rid of the tenant, or there's a deposit dispute, and they get sucked into that, almost firefighting.
Yes.
When in reality, why does that staff member call on the agent, and then why
Right.
does the agent, the boss, let them
Yeah.
reset themselves in?
Okay, so that's really easy. The boss wants to be involved.
Wants to be.
Yes. The employee learns to give it to the boss because the boss will come and get it anyway. And then what the employee's done rather neatly is they've passed the monkey onto the boss's back. Now whatever decision is made, it can't be their fault.
Correct.
So the danger is if you're a perfectionist, you'll keep finding fault with what your employees do. They will eventually give up and leave it to you.
Well, you don't have a dog and bite yourself, do you?
Well, you'd be surprised how many letting agents are exactly that. Have plenty of dogs and do all the barking.
So what quick wins can an agent do to get over this?
Well, number one, shut up. Right? Don't intervene. Watch what's going on. Dare I say, let it fail, and then ask the employee, how could we do that better next time?
Because if you're not letting it fail, you're constantly firefighting, won't you?
And your people never learn, because you're the hero riding on the white horse, sorting everything out all the time. It's a great ego trip, but it's really tiring, and it's not taking your business any further forward.
One tip that you gave me, well, it's actually in two stages, John. One is you said one day a week take a step away from the office,
Yeah.
and you'll actually realise the business doesn't go belly up.
Yeah.
And another tip that you gave me is that you'd say to the staff, when on my day off, I will not have my mobile phone on, but you can ring my wife on her mobile, and that also self-filters.
Doesn't
because
it
you know damn well that you can't ring up the wife or the boss on a silly little thing.
Right.
And you can use that time to work on the business as opposed to in the business.
Yeah.
Why, talking of working on or in the business, why do you think letting agents aren't very good at marketing themselves and getting new landlords to them?
Because they're generally too busy doing all the things they don't trust their employees to do. And that's where I go back to pick the most common process that you do. Get that self-sufficient first. The classic one is do it yourself. There's plenty of screen capture software out there. You load it into your PC, you tap away and do the process, and you talk to the process while you're tapping away, with your employee alongside you. You've now got an educational video.
It's a good idea.
That will forever tell someone how to do this process on your system.
So instead of spending days and days writing out a written process...
No, just record it.
Just record it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Then you get your new employees come in, right, here are the videos that explain your job, 1 to 10. So you might say you're going to watch video 1, then you're going to work with Fred. So you break it up a little bit, but any time they don't know what to do, they go back to the instructional video that tells them step by step, this is how you do your process. And when you've got A players, the A players go, you see that bit there at minute 5 or minute 8? Well, they're doing this, but actually we probably should be doing can I re-record the video? Fantastic.
So they take ownership.
They take ownership. So now your version 2 video, that employee is sitting there going through the process. They explain it with all the...
They're taking ownership of it.
So they've got all that enthusiasm coming over, plus they've improved your process and you haven't had to do it, and now you've got a more up-to-date training video that acts as your manual for that process.
Because that's the biggest thing of systemisation, that your staff don't own it.
Right. Because you wrote the manual.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
There you go.
I did it first. Thanks, John. Cheers.